This story was sent to me by Odd Rocker 1, and let me just tell you right now, a lot of things involving Kamala Harris is not a good look, but this one right here is really not a good look for her. And if this is to tank her campaign, so be it. So usually whenever I try to find pictures, I'll find pictures depending on the story I'm talking about. I always try to have it relate to the subject matter, because this is the face that she would probably make now that this has gotten out there. So I'm on USA Today, and the article title reads, Kamala Harris took money from law firm that represented Epstein, as in Jeffrey Epstein, on the same day she blasted it. So she put on blast the law firm that's helping out Jeffrey Epstein, but also took money from it to fund her campaign. Let's get into it. Kamala Harris bemoaned the influence of the powerful and connected elite last Tuesday when she called on top Justice Department officials to rescue themselves from any matter related to Jeffrey Epstein. She said their former law firm's work on behalf of the financier accused of sexual abuse calls into question the integrity of our legal system. Yet the same day, Harris's husband headlined a Chicago fundraiser for her presidential campaign that was hosted by 6 partners of that firm, Kirkland and Ellis, according to an invitation obtained by the Associated Press. Harris, a California senator and Democratic presidential candidate, was one of the several White House hopefuls to blast the handling of the Epstein case in Florida a decade ago when his lawyers negotiated a deal with federal prosecutors that allowed him to avoid the possibility of years in prison. But her decision to move ahead with the fundraiser hosted by Kirkland and Ellis partners while criticizing the firm underscores the tension that can raise when a politician's rhetoric collides with their need to raise money to sustain a presidential campaign. If any connection with Kirkland and Ellis is a stain on senior Justice Department officials, why isn't a connection with a law firm for the receipt of campaign's contributions a stain on her own campaign? Said Paul Ryan, an attorney for the good government group Common Cause. Ian Sams, a Harris spokesman, said there wasn't a problem with accepting the campaign contributions because the firm is big and the partners who hosted the fundraiser didn't work on Epstein's plea agreement. But they're still connected to a man who is a known pedophile. That, at the end of the day, guilt by association, isn't that what they always say? The people involved in that case have not supported her campaign, and she wouldn't want that support anyway, Sam said. Then why did they take money from that place then? The firm and the 6 partners named on the event invitation did not respond to requests for comment. The Epstein case has roiled Washington this month after federal prosecutors announced fresh charges against the financier, who was accused of paying underage girls for massages and then molesting them at his homes in Palm Beach, Florida, and New York during the 2000s. President Donald Trump's Labor Secretary Alex Acosta resigned on Friday over his handling of the case. As a U.S. attorney in Miami, Acosta met with Kirkland and Ellis lawyers and agreed to a deal that allowed Epstein to avoid federal trial by pleading guilty to state charges and serving 13 months in jail. Mind you, that 13 months was a work release, so he was only in jail for 12 hours a day, and the other 12 hours he was doing work release. And he had his own private wing in the prison, so that means he was literally by himself. Think Hannibal Lecter, but a whole lot kosher. The new attention being paid to the case has also drawn attention to Attorney General William Barr and Deputy Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen, who both work for Kirkland and Ellis. Harris, who is also a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, said it is necessary that they recuse themselves from involvement in the matter to avoid the appearance of impropriety. In our democracy, no one, no matter how powerful or well-connected, is above the law. Yet Epstein's deal, secured by his lawyers at Kirkland and Ellis, calls into question the integrity of our legal system and undermines the public's confidence that justice will be served. Harris said in a statement released hours after the Chicago fundraiser. Barr is recused from any review of the 2008 plea deal, but has said he doesn't need to do so with the current case. Before her election to the Senate, Harris was the Attorney General of California and was elected to 2 terms in San Francisco District Attorney. And I'm sure it was hell for those people while she was in office. Her husband, Doug Emhoff, is also a high-powered attorney who works in corporate law. So it is perhaps a little surprised that law firms have been one of the top industries that have donated to her presidential bid, with Kirkland and Ellis being no exception. Her campaign declined to say how much was raised at last week's event, and the sum won't have to be reported to the Federal Election Commission until October. Records show that a handful of employees and partners of the firm donated about $6,000 to Harris during the first quarter of the year, a drop when compared to the $12 million she raised during that time. It's an international law firm with thousands of employees, many of whom probably support Kamala Harris because she's a tough prosecutor who actually knows how to put away predators, unlike the Trump lackeys who protect them, Sam said. Well, she's taking money from a firm that represents a predator. If she really wanted to stand on something of value, then she would have said, thank you, but no thanks. I can't take this money from someone who represents a monster like Jeffrey Epstein. That's all she had to say. It's not like she wouldn't get donations from anywhere else, but she and her husband took that money anyway. Now, to all the people that are in support of Kamala Harris, how does that make you feel now, knowing that this woman has taken campaign donations from a firm that represents a well-known pedophile that's pretty much walking, well, in a way, in his own way, walking free? Man, I tell you, like I said, this is going to be very interesting going forward. It's going to be very interesting. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.